Welcome, everybody. I think we can start now. We are here to introduce you to the Bosch Group in Italy. My name is Camilla Negri. I'm the HR manager for the mobility sector of Bosch in Italy. You will see that Bosch does a lot of things in a wide range of solutions and products. We are here to represent the mobility sector. So with me, my colleagues Gianfranco Fenocchio and Giulio Lancellotti will tell you more about what we do in concrete inside our organization. I'm here to give you a first introduction and go into details of what it means to be working like a Bosch, what you saw before. So the Bosch Group, we were saying, we do a wide variety and range of different products. What do they have in common? Probably each one of you is thinking about something different now. Someone usually answers refrigerators, dishwashers, or wipers, or drills, power tools of any kind. There is truly a wide variety of things. What they have in common is that we work to enhance the quality of life of our customers. So our motto is invented for life in English, tecnologia per la vita in Italian. And you see here in this slide some of our products. They go from the medical department to agriculture to the mobility sector, of course. One thing that is special about the Bosch Group that no other company, no other company that is as large as Bosch is that we are not listed on the stock market. It means that we have independency in making our own decisions on how to reinvest the money that we make. And we can think in a long-term dimension. So you see here the foundation. The foundation owns the majority of the stocks of the Bosch Group, 94%. So it means that we don't have to give out shares to our contributors every 3 months or 6 months. We are in the position to think long-term. This is due to a wish of our founder, Robert Bosch. He was a very inspiring personality who lived at the end of he was born in 1861, so he was active at the end of the 1800s. And thinking about the Motor Valley and the fact that here too there are so many inspiring personalities that actually built a market. It's sort of like that, and it's what happened in the area of Stuttgart, where we had people like Robert Bosch, Benz, Daimler, or Ferdinand Porsche. They were all active at the same time, at the same moment, at the same place. So thinking about this yesterday, I was thinking maybe Stuttgart is like the Motor Valley of Germany. Here you will see a video on the story of Robert Bosch. And he's a very inspiring personality. So the video that you just saw is about the fact that Bosch is really very careful about training and upskilling. We have internal academies and we are constantly enabled to learn more and become more skilled in what we do. I think that is true in most of the companies, but in Bosch in particular, it's very stressed. Talking about the foundation that I was telling you about, we are active also in Italy with the foundation projects. We, in Italy, decided to fund a special project against unemployment because the foundation has goals of being socially active in order to enhance the quality of life of everybody. So also in medical research, there are some projects. And in Italy, we decided to have this project that is called Training for the Future, or Allenarsi per il Futuro, in order to fight for how we can the unemployment rate in Italy. Some figures of the Bosch Group today. We are approximately 420,000 employees all over the world. And if you think about this figure, let me tell you that Bologna is smaller than this. We are a middle-sized city spread all over the world in more than 60 countries. Recently, I read that in Bosch there are like 150 languages spoken. And this means that, of course, diversity is also one of our values. It's been like that for ages. Robert Bosch himself started opening offices outside Germany at the end of the 1800s. And he desired to have local companies all over the world. So the result is that now we are present in more than 60 countries. Our revenue last year equaled 88 billion euros. I can't even think of that number. But what is more important to tell you is that a wide ratio of this is reinvested in research and development. Almost 10% goes to fund research and development activities. In particular, there are 85,000 people working in research and development offices and centers. In Italy, we have 4 of them, so it's not only Germany. The majority is in Germany, but not only. Business sectors. I was telling you a wide range of products and solutions. Mobility solutions, we usually put it first because it's the one that gives the bigger ratio of revenues. Still, the Bosch Group owes 60% of the total revenues to this sector. It's the first sector where it all started, where Bosch was active when he opened his small office in Stuttgart. Still 60% comes out of it. But the other 3 sectors are as important. Industrial technology with the brand Rexroth, Bosch Rexroth. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Energy and building technology with our Thermotechnic division, and consumer goods that contains all the products that we can think of as end consumers. So when we walk into any media world, any shopping center, and we need to buy household appliances or power tools. And that makes up to 24% of shares. The fact that we are carbon neutral across the globe is something that we're really proud of. This is a goal that was very wished for and wanted, and it was reached in 2020, exactly during the pandemic, when all the world was thinking about other difficulties. Our management decided anyways to pursue this goal and also invest in this. We think that being the first large group worldwide being carbon neutral is something that we should really be proud of. The next goal, as I heard this morning also during the conference, is to step back on the supplier chain and also have our suppliers do the same in order to actually spread this thing across the globe. Where we want to go now, going a little more deep into the mobility sector. The mobility sector is changing. My colleagues will tell you a lot of interesting things about the mobility sector. It's changing a lot since we used to be a mechanical company, and it's still in our DNA, but over the last few years, we are under a major change because our products are now including artificial intelligence, sensors, softwares, and electronics. So they are rapidly changing. And this is the trend that we are going to pursue in the future as well. Not only the mobility sector, but also in our homes. Bosch is contributing to make homes smarter, more comfortable, and more safe and safer. And also, not only homes, but also our factories. Bosch was one of the key players in the Industry 4.0 project. Factories are now totally different from what they looked like in the past. They are places where a great skill set of competence is needed, where we need data analysts more than we need workers. The future of mobility, there are 4 megatrends on this, but Gianfranco and Giulio will tell you a lot more about it. The megatrends regard connectivity, electrification, automation, and personalization, with the goal for Bosch to be always safe, sustainable, and as exciting as possible. So safety is also a key word for Bosch. We developed over the years a lot of products that are now given for granted, like ABS or ESP, but they all came from a Bosch idea. Mobility solutions, I told you 60% of shares and almost half of our, so 1 out of 2 Bosch colleagues work in the mobility sector. This is a fun video regarding mobility, because when we think about mobility, we don't have to think only about cars. That is just one portion of it. But really, we have to think about anything that moves.
I'm on the road like a emo. My neighbor's green, charging clean. His new ride has tech inside. Across the street, a different need. Top condition, low emissions. And as a team, hybrid dream. Cause it drives so many miles, many miles, many miles, many miles. What the truck? Here comes Chuck. His fuel cell has no smell. Great range to make a change. Not decide how I ride. We decide how we ride. Whatever you drive, drive like a Bosch. With innovative powertrains from combustion engines to electric drives and fuel cells for lower emissions and better air quality. From Bosch.
Okay, so we don't have horses in the office, but we do an we do have an e-bike division in Torino, so we're also active in the biking business. I wanted to tell you that we are partners of Muner, so we are engaged also with other, of course, partners in this. And this is a chance for us to get in touch with a lot of you students who might be interested in joining or want more information. This is a video. I know that some of you were part of it, so you might find yourself in this video. A very special project that we are proud of. Maurus here, so he was like the mind behind the project. And this is truly the sort of profile that we are looking for. So we want actually someone who's able to go beyond what is already written and stated. We want somebody proactive who's able to engage also in, because of his passion, also, you know, over the time. That is a great example of the ability of working in team. That is also something we are struggling to find in our people. Before I give the word to Gianfranco, I just wanted to tell you something more about the title of this presentation that stated piloting change together. Why we wanted to stress that? Because last year we had this team activity inside Bosch Mobility in Bosch Mobility division in Italy, looking for a reason to live. In Japanese, it's called ikigai. And what came out of it, intersecting what we care about, what the world pays for, what we are good at, intersecting all of this, we came out with this slogan, this motto, piloting change together, because it deals with piloting things, so being the front runners of innovation and driving innovation, but also the ability to cope with constant change. We are always, and it will always be like that, and more in the future, in the middle of continuous change. And together stands not only together for us as a team, but also together with our partners and customers, because we want to be providers of the best solutions for them. So that is the reason of the title. And if you find yourself in this, then later on we'll talk about the entry opportunities. Thank you.
Thanks, Camilla. So I'm Gianfranco Fenocchio, responsible for Bosch Engineering in Italy. The first slide is not that interesting, but we decided to provide you a couple of examples of possible careers in our company. So I go quite fast through it. So after a degree in mechanical engineering, I had a couple of experience in CRF, so Fiat Research Center, about the first study in Fiat regarding DeNOx systems. Then I wanted to do something more, let's say, managerial, going to purchasing in Pininfarina. But I understood there that my passion was still about technology. So when Bosch called me, I couldn't refuse. And I had there 13 years experience in the application field, engine application field, up to the responsibility of all FCA engines worldwide, of course, with Bosch controller. Then I moved to Bosch Engineer as responsible of sales. up to, well, now to the general manager position. So my suggestion to you is really, despite any rule also in our company to make changes, to go abroad and so on, is really to follow your passion and pursue it.
Can we overcome yesterday every day? Imagine the absurd and silence the doubts. Every new day is a chance to advance. And sometimes we fail, but we try again and again until we succeed. We push boundaries, develop individual solutions until we're where we want to be. It's not only about being the first, it's about being the best. This is why we push for innovation. Strive until an automated and connected future becomes reality. Our holistic approach allows us to understand the vehicle as a whole, electrify the powertrain, and take mobility to the next level. We move beyond the expected. Together, we create the exceptional. Because we are pioneers, unconventional, smart, curious, always a step ahead. Because what moves us today is passion for tomorrow.
It seems fantastic, and well, I can assure it is. So let's speak about Bosch Engineering now. Bosch Engineering is a subsidiary of Bosch, so part of the mobility pillar that you have seen before in the Camilla's presentation. It's born in 1999, actually for an Italian project, because we applied an ABS for Ferrari, starting from a German project. The idea behind is that in this way we could provide the technologies which require a huge amount of money to small and niche customers. Well, Ferrari is now not really that niche customer, but in comparison to our standard customer, it is absolutely. And so we started with 10 people at that time, and now we have 3,000 people all around the world in 8 different countries. We are working on each and every kind of powertrain. Therefore, we say from zero, that means electric, to big engines, and not only, as we will see later on. And we are working on about 800 or more projects per year. Motorsport is also a very important branch for us. Everything is motorsport in the Bosch world is Bosch Engineering. As I mentioned, we are in 8 locations that are represented here. In Italy, we have 2 different offices, in Turin and in Modena, in via Ginzburg, where we have our technical activities. Bosch Engineering is mainly, so the big advantage of Bosch Engineering for small and niche customers is that we are the main, when not unique, interface. So through us, a small customer can approach all the Bosch divisions, getting access to each and every component that then we will develop specifically for the small customer. So typically all the sport and luxury customers, and I refer, for instance, to all Motor Valley customers, are working with us. And we are actually the main partner for all those customers. What are we actually doing? So we provide complete solution on embedded software and components to cloud services. We start from ideas internally or from the customers, and together with them, we develop those concepts, providing, for instance, typically demos, proof of concepts, and we develop those ideas to series, and even after the SOP and end of production, managing the fleet. We have three main pillars. So we develop software on Bosch hardware, and we are also providing engineering service at system level. Specifically, it means, of course, for our hardware, and I mean every ECU on a vehicle. So we are providing as Bosch the complete electronic components, and we are developing those ECUs. We develop complete architecture from zone ECU to vehicle computer, and for those hardware we develop software, middleware, and application software up to connectivity, connected services. At a system level, we are providing consultancy and services like the development of the complete architecture, and other services like functional safety, cybersecurity, and so on. Just to make an example of a complete solution, we developed the rolling chassis of Pininfarina, which has been presented a couple of years ago. So this is a kind of service we provide, the complete architecture and the complete development of all the Bosch components inside. Areas where we work on automotive are, let's say, all pillars regarding electrical architecture. So I'm speaking about ADAS, motion, so longitudinal and transversal, which means active safety and steering, energy, which is one core business, and there we develop from, of course, all combustion engines, now with e-fuel and hydrogen combustion, electrification, fuel cell. So we are really technological neutral, speaking about powertrain. Of course, all the body and comfort ECUs and the infotainment. In which fields, of course, as I said, passenger car, automotive is our main field, but we are active on every mobility field. That means we are making motorsport, as mentioned, agriculture, commercial vehicle, aviation, with a company we have in Austria. Railway, we are offering, as we will see later, a system for work collision warning, and I'm proud for it. We are also, since a couple of years, working on marine field, and in Venice this year we will present our kit for the electrification of boats. Motorsport, as said, everything is motorsport is in Bosch Engineering. We are active in worldwide in all the series you can have in mind, from Formula One, as we are the supplier of the fuel injection system, to, well, really all the most important challenges. One example is we developed the hybrid system for the Le Mans Daytona hybrid in cooperation, because we are also strongly believing in cooperation between companies, and we developed together with Williams the battery system, and together with X-Track also the gearbox. In railway, just to make another example outside automotive, is we are providing a system based on radar and video, which allows the driver to be informed about possible obstacles on the railway. And we are developing further systems up to the automated driving. But we are also active, of course, on the powertrain side. As I mentioned, we are providing marine solutions with e-machine, inverter, converter, and also vision system together with big players in the market to assist the driver in the navigation. And yes, to conclude, this year we will present, and this is a premier event worldwide, our system in the Salone Nautico di Venezia. So it's, I would say, really a huge amount of possibilities in each and every field of the mobility. Thanks.
Tengo questo. Good afternoon, everyone. So, Giulio Lancellotti, and I am managing, so first of all, the slide. Okay. Software and service for Bosch mobility solution, basically located in Italy, taking care of the business at a global scale. Nice to meet you all. I want to start with a attention checkpoint to see if everything was good from your side on the slide presented by the colleague, with a challenge. So I divided you into team 1 and 2. You have to reach 3 products or services from Bosch that you had known today or that you know from the past. So the first team that reached number 3 of products and services win. Like, come on. Nothing cannot work, so you were not careful during the presentation. Yeah, 1, okay. You can also say 3 in a row and you win the competition. It's not, it works. Not specifically automotive. So when it comes to the Bosch world, what you think about? Bosch? Yeah. Be more precise, because if not, doesn't work. So braking components. If you say it, you win the competition. So it's quite important. Fantastic. Radar, it works. So I have to say that 0 is not really promising, but okay, I will give you in 3 slides just a couple of words about something which is affecting heavily our automotive industry. Maybe you are already passionate about it. It's the software and service part of the industry. So this is what is today happening to the automotive industry. Basically, you see that we have challenging coming from the automotive specific domain and challenge coming from the geopolitical situation. So you all know COVID, military conflict, semiconductor shortage, but this is also affecting the mobility segment in the sense that, for example, electronic components are increasing exponentially inside the car, semiconductor, chip, all the electronic components, and consequently also the software which is into the electronic components. So we are in front of a big revolution into the automotive industry where software is having a crucial part due to the fact, and we will see in the next slide, that we are in front of what is called a smartphone on wheels, even if I do not like so much the term. Now, Camilla had explained to you previously how much an industry coming from 150 years of history had to change accordingly its DNA. So from a component industry to a system industry. So we have to take care of things that once upon a time didn't exist. You see now that there is the cloud. We are not a cloud provider. We rely on external cloud providers such as Azure and AWS. But we built on it with our competencies. You see now the purple layer of this slide, services which are coming from our experience on the vehicle. We recently launched, and we are extremely proud of it, a partnership with Maserati. So in the new electric Maserati, you will see e-mobility services from Bosch. So the network of charge points provided to Maserati is coming from Bosch. And this is one of the examples of things we are doing into the domain that, as you can see, is extremely complex, because we move from the component-related software, which is called the so-called operating or middleware layer, to the top layer, which is related more specifically to the services. It's my last slide, but it's to conclude the importance of how much the software topic is affecting the automotive industry. And this is not something that comes from me, but comes from the most important representative of the segment. So we are in front of a big split between what is the component part of the automotive related industry, so everything which is so-called hardware, to everything which comes on top, which is not tangible. So it's something which is the well-known software topic. We are on it, and we are building competencies specifically in this domain. We are already mature in terms of execution. Even more important, and that's why we are extremely happy to be here today with you, we are investing in looking for people which wanted to challenge themselves and learn into the specific automotive industry with respect to software. So don't be scared to reach out with the channels that once upon a time didn't exist, like LinkedIn. Camilla will show you later on how, but we are really looking for talents in the specific software domain. So that was it from my side, and really nice to be here today. Thank you.
Before we go to the Q&A session, let me just skip a couple of slides because I wanted to give you some info regarding the channels and the entry opportunities that you might be willing to catch in order to enter in Bosch. Of course, there is the chance of direct employment that is usually reserved for professionals, so for people who have some years of experience. In your case, in the case of very young and junior profiles, usually what we offer is the chance to do an internship in Bosch. So it's a very good channel in order to get yourself known by the organization, start actually finding out whether it really suits you, because sometimes internships turn out in the person, finding out that that's not the job of his life, of her life. That's also very important to know. And also sometimes internships can also be linked to the chance of writing your thesis. So if you go to the Bosch portal, that is very easy to reach. It's a Bosch Careers portal, or in Italian Bosch Lavora con Noi. You find the whole range of opportunities, also internships and also for thesis. And also, what's also very important is that if you go to this portal, you may be able also to check the opportunities open outside of Italy. So all the entry and jobs are here listed, and you just select the country you want to check. You might be willing to go abroad for your first job experience, and you find it as well. It's very easy to apply. It only takes 2 minutes. It can be done by your smartphone, so it's it's very user friendly. It's not like in the past when you needed like 30 minutes to fill in the form. You can also link your LinkedIn profile, and it takes 10 seconds. I leave you our contacts, but we'll do this as a last thing. Now we can go to the Q&A session. So if you have any question for us, we are here to answer. Don't be shy. We've got some more minutes. What you always wanted to ask but never found the courage to ask. Are there any questions for us in the chat now? Okay. You want to add anything? No? Oh, one question. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the profiles that we now have out, because the thing is that, as you can imagine, they keep changing. There are many open positions right now, but if you look again in 2 weeks, you might find different ones. Now we have more or less 30 openings for the mobility sector. We have some junior project application engineer openings, calibration engineers. So it has to do with the powertrain environment. But we also have many openings in a division that's called the ETAS. They are specifically working on embedded software, on writing codes that go into the system, the car system. And as you can imagine, as we told you in the presentations, that is a sector that is going to develop a lot in the future. But also the good old powertrain keeps keeping us busy, and we also have openings. So the profiles that are like the most wanted right now go from mechatronics to electronics, also data analytics, but still we hire a lot from mechanics. So if I think about the students here who had the chance to be part of a Formula student team, those are interesting profiles for us. Any other question from you?
Erasmus or
Yeah, I gave you the hint. Yes, they are very important because, as you can imagine, we receive quite many applications every day, and everything that makes you special as far as proactivity, willingness to think out of the box and also be part of a team is something that we value very positively. Erasmus is something different. It has to do with the fact that you have exposed to other cultures. And as we showed you before, Bosch is made up of, I don't know, 150 different cultures. And you will have the chance actually to interact with people from Malaysia, from the Philippines, from Vietnam. And it is part of our everyday effort to be able to mediate and use our intercultural skills in order to have everything done. So if you have already trained yourself during an Erasmus program or an experience abroad, it's something that is also valuable for us. Both. If you have both, yeah. No, of course, every application is different, and we don't have we don't have systems of artificial intelligence screening our CV. We truly read each CV we receive. So you might also write something in your letter of presentation that is particularly interesting for us, and then we come back to you. Or maybe you wrote a thesis on something that we are also active on and we want to get in touch with you. But it's a long process. So I just wanted to tell you, don't give up if you don't receive an answer immediately. Sometimes hiring processes can take up to 6 weeks, because we need to go step by step and get you interviewed by different people, sometimes not only in Italy, but also our counterparts in Germany, for example. So it's a long process.
But your proactivity is a good starting point. No, it's definitely something that we are looking for. So people that are curious, motivated to ask. So don't be shy also in the in the future you will have, in the interviews you will have to ask, because it's something that motivate also the other part to have people that are really proactive and a real thinker.
And also I wanted to add, somebody mentioned LinkedIn before. That's also a very good channel to get in touch. You might follow the colleagues and look up what they do on their projects, or myself. I usually post news regarding the company. To be always up to date on what Bosch is doing. You can also use the channels, the official channels. Some other question? Okay.
Thank you. I study economics and finance. But I'm part of the team, and I want to know if also from an economic perspective, so working like in management or similar inside of the company, it's nice. It's viewed as a nice thing to have been part of this kind of projects or similar, or
Yes.
if you prefer like one that has finished his studies in like 5 years and not maybe 6 because he didn't play a role inside of this kind of projects.
Yeah, no, we know it's time consuming, and a lot of you who are part of the teams don't actually make it in the given time. As far as economical roles, there are some other openings. I was thinking about engineers because of the question of your colleague, but we are a sales house in Torino, so there are a lot of positions in regards to, for example, the supply chain, or sales, or project management related to sales, administration, the controlling department, cash management, quality, for example. There are a lot of so-called staffing offices that are also crucial in order to reach our goals. So if you check the portal, you might see some of the openings that I'm referring to. One more question.
Do you guys also have opportunities for international students to apply for the positions that you mentioned?
Yes, the good thing is that we all speak English very well in Bosch. So it's happening more and more recently that we hire people who don't speak Italian. So we have one recent case in Gianfranco's office. He was a student coming from Iran, and he was not. Yes, Giulio is also mentioning a girl from Hungary. So we are actually prepared to onboard in English as well, and it can be a valuable experience as well. And of course, if in the meantime the student also learns some Italian, we appreciate that too. That also has to do with the mentality that I was telling you about. Okay, I think we have come to the end. Thank you for the participation.